I'm going to show you how bacteria are good for you.
Look at all of these people. Now, they all look different, but they all have something in common. Every single one of them is covered in millions of bacteria. We all are. But don't worry, this is completely normal. In fact, we need bacteria to survive. Now, this is a Petri dish, named after its inventor, Julius Richard Petri. Doctors like me use these dishes to grow bacteria and see what lives on our bodies. That's what I'm going to do now, starting with our lips. Who's going to give me a kiss? Anyone going to give me a kiss? What I want is a kiss, a nice big kiss on that. What we're trying to do is look at what grows in people's mouths and things like that.
Carrots.
Carrots?
Will anyone give me a kiss? I'll ask your girlfriend for a kiss. A more manly kiss from you, all right? Can we get a nose pick as well? It's less exciting than a kiss. I'm just going to see what comes out of people's noses and what comes out of their mouths.
I can't do this in the street. Put up my nose. Go on. Oh, you are good. That's gross.
He's a nice man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. The kisses and nose swabs will now go off to be grown in a special laboratory. And after 5 days, it's time to see how the bacteria have blossomed. This is Dr. Richard Drew, microbiologist and expert in all things gross. And now the kisses have gone all furry. Well, that's bacteria for you. So what kind of bugs have we got here?
We have a lot of streptococci, which is kind of the slightly greeny colour around the lips. But up here where their nose would have been, you can see the yellowy bugs growing, and these ones are more like Staphylococcus aureus.
Sounds like a dinosaur.
It's completely normal to have these bugs in your mouth, so all of us have them.
We could have got a kiss from everyone in Liverpool and they all would have grown these two bacteria.
Absolutely.
You might think it's disgusting, but bacteria are really useful.
They're important to have. For example, we've got bugs in our gut and they help to digest food.
And they fight disease too, by increasing the acidity in your gut to the point bad bacteria don't want to move in. So what about the weird things that live up our nose?
This one we found a lot of E. coli and a lot of Staphylococcus as well.
Now, E. coli can be dangerous. They do cause disease, but living up your nose, or commonly living up your bottom, is completely normal and completely safe. It's when it gets into blood or other bits of your body which shouldn't have it, like the brain or the joints, that it can cause problems.
This one looks like cheesecake. Yummy.
So our bodies are covered in bacteria, but that's not just normal, it's good, because our bodies are amazing at protecting the bits that need to be protected, which is why kissing is fine. A bit disgusting, but fine.
Ouch. Emergency rescue teams need to get to the scene of an accident quickly.
And there are lots of different ways they can get there to help you. We're going on call with the UK's emergency services, heading into the thick of the action to help save lives. Now it's Xand's turn on the front line.
I'm giving you exclusive access to a top medical team. Every year they respond to almost 1 million medical emergencies. I'm heading out in this state-of-the-art rapid response vehicle to show you more about the life-saving work these paramedics do. I'm going on call. This is the West Midlands Ambulance Service. They've got more than 800 vehicles on the road ready to come to your rescue. On call with me today is paramedic Xand van. We're in the car ready to go, and a new call has just come in.
All we've got at the moment is an address, nothing else.
This service takes thousands of 999 calls, and they send information about the patient to us and update us via the radio as we're on our way.
Just giving a bit more information now at someone who's fallen on the floor and they've hurt their arm.
When we get there, I'll be filming on my camera too, so you can get right to the heart of the action. 3.5 minutes from the call, and we're there. As we get into the house, I can see Frank with his daughter. He's sitting on the living room floor, unable to move.
Frank, do you know why you fell this morning? What were you trying to do?
Transfer from that into the wheelchair.
Okay.
And I tried to get onto that chair there.
How long have you been sitting on the ground for?
Since 7 o'clock this morning.
Oh. That's 6.5 hours. Frank is a patient Jan has met before, and he has quite a few existing health problems.
Got to figure out why he fell. Does he have an infection? Is his blood sugar low? Did he have a stroke?
Jan begins a thorough examination to figure out why Frank might have fallen. doing a manoeuvre he does every day from his armchair to his wheelchair.
You sound a bit chesty when you're breathing. You've been feeling unwell recently.
I can't shake off a cold I've had for a few weeks.
Okay. I think he's got probably a touch of cellulitis coming on.
Yeah.
I think your leg's getting infected again.
So what started off as a very simple fall out of a chair becomes more and more complicated as we've spoken to Frank. He's got diabetes, he's got a high temperature, his chest sounds a bit bad, he's got some infected skin on his leg.
We'll get you comfy.
With so many health concerns, we need to get Frank to hospital. And to do that, the ambulance team have arrived with a nifty gadget to move Frank quickly and safely.
What we've got here is a really cool bit of kit. It's some kind of inflatable cushion. It's going to lift Frank up.
With the aid of this inflating cushion, Frank is off the ground in just a couple of minutes.
Hold on.
So that's Frank on his way to hospital.
Paramedics like Jan are skilled not just at looking at the immediate problem, but also investigating thoroughly to see what might have caused the situation to happen, so that patients can get the right care.
He's normally at home, self-caring, looks after himself, transfers every day from his chair to his wheelchair. But today, because of his temperature, he hasn't got the strength or the energy to do that by himself. That's why he's fallen.
Because we were there within 3.5 minutes of the 999 call, now Frank can get the treatment he needs in hospital. With rapid response teams like this on standby all over the UK, it means that expert care can be with you within minutes of an impact.
The team from Accident and Emergency is ready for our first patient.
Let's meet him.
At Sheffield Children's Hospital, 4-year-old Max has come in with a peculiarly puffy face.
I fell down and it hurt my cheek.
Yeah, you did. So where were you?
In the living room on the wooden floor, near the wooden table.
You wouldn't believe it, would you, Xand?
So, how on earth did this happen?
Well, a couple of days ago, Max was at home watching his favourite monster film on TV.
Oh, I love a good monster film.
Me too. Anyway, Max was really getting into the film, running about like the monsters, when all of a sudden he tripped. He flew through the air and landed with a bump on the wooden floor, cutting his cheek on the wooden table.
Ow!
Yes, and it didn't stop there. Over the next couple of days, Max's face swelled up, causing his left eye to start closing.
Ouch!
So his mum and Nan have brought him straight to hospital. His face is very swollen and red.
Enter Dr. Olodeo Oladipo. He'll check out our monster-loving friend.
Hello, Max. How are you?
Not so bad.
Good. I'm going to examine you now. Is that all right? Okay.
The doctor needs to give Max a thorough examination and make sure he hasn't broken any of his facial bones.
And there's a bit of swelling around that area. It looks like it's infected and is going around the face, okay?
Max has an infection of his skin called cellulitis. It happens when your skin is broken by a cut or insect bite and bacteria get in. Sometimes the infection stays near the surface, but sometimes the bacteria infect the deeper layer, like with Max, causing the whole area to go red and swell up. And this is cellulitis.
Because Max has cellulitis around his eye, it could cause bigger problems if it continues to spread.
With the spread of the infection, the chance that his brain function would be affected, his sight would be affected, his breathing could also be affected. So we need to control that infection quite quickly.
To do this, Max is being given antibiotics straight into the veins through the back of his hand. And this way, the medicine works much faster than swallowing tablets.
He'll have to stay in hospital until the medicine starts to work, but he doesn't look too unhappy about it.
We'll be back later to see how he's getting on.
At the Royal Manchester Children's Hospital, 7-year-old Logan has come in with his mum and a rather unique ailment.
Whoa, what's happened to your cheek?
The cheek looks like a hamster cheek.
So you're a cheeky little hamster.
No, I'm not a hamster.
Are you sure?
No.
OK, Let's find out how he got that swollen cheek. Logan was cosily tucked up in bed when a pain in his tooth disturbed his sleep.
Hello, who's this little fella?
Keep up, Xand, it's a hamster. Anyway, Logan had taken his nasty gnasher to get fixed by a dentist before, but the painful problem came back.
Ooh, nice swag bag, Hammy.
What? Focus, Xand.
Whoa, okay.
Logan didn't feel like himself and so woke up his mum. Not only did he have a sore tooth, he had a red, swollen face too.
Oh, so that's where the hamster comes in. Ouch! Someone who does understand Logan's torturous tooth is Dr. Alex Trott.
What's been happening, Logan?
It's been sore, and it's turned into a hamster cheek.
Right.
I've got shiny here, and it's bright pink.
Okay.
And inside, I've got a tooth, and it's got a big black hole in it.
A black hole? Well, that's a thorough rundown of your ailments, Logan.
Can you just open your mouth for me? I'm just going to have a look at the torch there.
Dr. Alex needs to spot exactly where all this pain and swelling is coming from.
Sore up there.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon, Doc?
Okay. It's a dental abscess.
Yeah.
It's quite a nasty one. So it's one of these top teeth. I think it's his back baby molar tooth, and that's where the infection's sitting. Okay.
A dental abscess is a collection of gooey pus that forms in the tooth or in the gum and is caused by a bacterial infection.
First, it's off to X-ray for a proper look.
Come closer, your chin on here, your bite on there, and it will be done in a minute. Good boy, really still. Okay, well done.
That's the problem tooth right there.
It needs fixing, so we'll catch up with Logan a bit later on and find out what happens. But how did he get that swollen cheek and eye?
It all started one night when a bad pain in Logan's tooth disturbed his sleep. He woke up his mum, and not only did he have a sore tooth, he had a red, swollen face that made him look a little odd. Ouch!
Logan's tooth is badly infected and needs something done about it.
What we need to do really is get that tooth out.
So he's going to need an operation to remove the gnarly gnasher.
But our patient has his own ideas about what's going on in his mouth.
I'm waiting for someone to take the bad soldiers out and the bad tooth out.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Bad soldiers?
The bad soldiers were attacking that to make it more bigger. The good soldiers were fighting, they're battling.
But who wins, Logan?
The good soldiers win because there's only about 41 bad soldiers and 57 good soldiers.
Huzzah! Brilliant!
Best get you off to surgery, Logan.
First, Logan is put to sleep, so he won't feel a thing.
Performing the operation today is Dr. Suleiman Anwar. He removes Logan's problem tooth using extraction forceps.
At the same time, he spots some other broken teeth in Logan's mouth, and he takes those out too.
That's okay though, these are his milk teeth, and replacements will soon grow in.
Surgery done and dusted, Logan's abscess has been fixed, and he's had a few other potential problems solved as well.
We just took out these 5 teeth, and hopefully he'll get big new shiny teeth in to replace the ones we've taken out. Logan just has to make sure that he's cleaning his teeth really effectively now. He needs to be brushing twice a day using a good fluoride toothpaste, and he has to be careful how many sweets and chocolates he's eating too.
Our patient is wide awake and the swelling has gone down.
So that's what you look like normally.
Logan's usually a chatterbox, but it's evening time on the children's ward, so he has to be extra quiet. Can you tell us how you're feeling? We'll take that as a good sign. So good, in fact, he's off home.
Just like a good little soldier. Bye!
And now to our lab. Ouch! For some amazing body experiments.
Ah! Just don't try anything you see here at home.
Today it's your friends and mine, body bacteria.
Xand, you stink. I know. I haven't washed in 3 days. What? But why would you do that?
Well, Chris, while you have been washing as normal, I haven't. And that's so I could collect samples of the bacteria on my body.
And here they are.
All over your body, you have lots of lovely bacteria working hard to keep you healthy.
That's right, not all bacteria are bad. In fact, lots of them are good. They do things like eat dead skin cells and destroy bad bacteria, which could otherwise cause you infections.
But that's not a reason for never washing, is it now, Xand?
Well, that's true, but I've only not washed for 3 days, and you're about to find out why. Allow me to introduce my body bacteria. Meet the family. There's John, and he's off to see Anita, who's over there.
Hello, Anita. How do you even know their names?
We live together. They actually feed off my sweat, and as they gobble away, they release a nasty stink. So when I don't wash, more sweat equals more nasty smells. Now, speaking of smells...
Smell this cheese. Cheesy. What are you doing now?
Smell my foot.
Ugh, it's even more cheesy.
Exactly. Now that's because some of the bacteria that live on your body are exactly the same kind of bacteria that are used to make cheese.
Bacteria are a key part of producing cheese and actually give each variety of cheese its unique smell and flavour.
Now, in these 3 jars, we have bacteria on swabs that Xand's been collecting from different parts of his body.
Now, we're going to make 3 varieties of cheese. 1 from my toe bacteria, 1 from my armpit bacteria, and 1 from my belly button bacteria. And what we want to know is, will the different kinds of cheese smell like the body part they came from? Actually, I'm quite peckish. I'm quite looking forward to this.
What's on? You can't eat this cheese. We have no idea what sort of foul bacteria might be lurking in the crevices of your body, and some of them could be dangerous.
I suppose you're right.
Now don't worry, the bacteria used in the cheese you eat is perfectly safe.
Let's get cheese making. And the most important ingredient for my body cheese is my unique body bacteria. Get in there and start making cheese. Because the mix of bacteria on my body is unique to me, my cheese should smell like my body and nobody else's.
Like all cheese, Xand's body cheese takes a while to turn solid.
Ta-da! Well, here we have it. Operation Ouch, Xand brand cheese. Let's see if Chris can guess which part of my body each cheese came from. Now, I'm going to let you in on which one's which, though. Are you ready? Chris can't see what you're reading on the screen right now. Number 1, belly button cheese. Number 2 is armpit cheese. And number 3 is toe cheese. OK, Chris, let your nose be your guide.
Right, number 1. Ugh! That's the nastiest cheese I've ever smelled. OK, let's have a go at number 2. It's less strong, that. I think that might be belly button.
Do you want a little go?
Ugh! OK, number 3. Ugh! That is horrendous. That was definitely the strongest, which makes me think 3 is foot, 2 is belly button, and 1 is armpit.
Well, Chris, it's the moment of truth. You said number 1 was armpit. Are you feeling confident?
Yes.
Oh, number 1, Chris, was belly button cheese.
How can your belly button smell that bad and so strong?
You said number 2 was belly button. Oh, it's armpits. Finally, you said number 3 was toe. And for the most powerful, smelliest, footiest cheese, he did get it exactly right. And this was the one you're most confident about, the toe cheese.
It was overwhelmingly smelly and smelled exactly like your toes.
Well, Chris did get the cheesiest one right, my toe cheese.
So, we all have amazing bacteria on our bodies, and some of it is similar to the bacteria used to make cheese. But this isn't how real cheese is made. Unlike Xand's brand, the cheese you buy to eat is perfectly safe.
So we really can't eat my cheese then? Not even a tiny bit?
No, Xand, I've told you, no eating. Anyway, it's time to go. Come on. Xand!
Shh, don't tell Chris. I mean, how dangerous can cheese really be? This is going to be delicious. What? It's all gone. Monty! Ouch. Earlier, Max had to take a trip to accident and emergency.
Let's see if he's getting better.
Back in Sheffield, 4-year-old Max is being treated with antibiotics for cellulitis, an infection of the skin that causes redness and swelling.
It all started a couple of days ago when Max was watching his favourite monster film on TV. He was running about, joining in with the fun, when he tripped and cut his cheek on the table.
Max's mum treated the wound at the time and it looked like it was healing, but underneath an infection was spreading. So with a lot of swelling around his eye, we need to make sure that his eyesight isn't affected by the cellulitis infection.
Over to eye specialist Dr. Imran Haq to see what he can see.
I need to have a look at your eye. Is that okay? Yeah? The layers of the skin, if they become inflamed, that's basically what cellulitis is. In this case, we're worried if it's orbital cellulitis. That's when it involves the actual area where the eye is. If that's involved, then it can sometimes not only damage the eye, but track back into the brain itself, and that can cause problems.
So, Dr. Imran makes sure Max's eye is moving normally, and then he gets out a nifty bit of headgear. This lets him look right into the back of Max's eyeball, and it'll show if the infection has spread from Max's face into his eye.
I spy with my big eye.
With this, what I wanted to do was really look at the back of the eye and see if there's any pressure on the optic nerve. That's a little nerve that leaves the back of the eye to go to the brain. In his case, the infection hasn't spread that far, and it's only limited to the skin itself and not involving the eye. So I think Max will be absolutely fine as long as he gets antibiotics. He'll probably be home in the next couple of days.
With his eye given the all clear, now Max just has to wait for the antibiotics to tackle his skin infection and get the swelling down in his face.
Day 2, and it's time for an update.
I'm getting better.
That's good.
His eye has gone down considerably, but the inflammation is still inflamed underneath his eye.
It's quite a difference from day 1, although he's not ready to go home yet.
Oh, no. He's burning the fire.
Max has to stay in hospital for another night to get more antibiotics into his system.
But the next day, there's good news.
But yes, a lot better.
It does look much less swollen now.
Now that he's had antibiotics for 2 days, Max has improved dramatically. The cellulitis has been curtailed, and we're happy for him to go home.
And by the looks of it, Max can't wait.
Maybe that monster movie's on the telly again.
Bye.
Bye, Max.
If there's a bone to break, he'll break it. If there's a wound to graze, he'll graze it. If there's an ankle to sprain, he'll sprain it. He's the unluckiest kid.
Food that's gone off or hasn't been cooked correctly can contain harmful bacteria that attack your body.
But your body fights back. Immune cells in your tummy try to kill the bad bacteria.
Oh, watch out! Phew.
Then friendly bacteria multiply and release toxins to stop them too.
Then your body gets you to eject them. Sometimes your stomach muscles contract to push them upwards.
Or sometimes it's downwards. Your intestines don't absorb water when you have food poisoning, so when diarrhea kicks in, a lot of liquid is flushed out and you're left feeling dehydrated.
So keep drinking water, but not water with bugs in it. Oh no, not again.
He's the unluckiest.
Every single day, your hands come into contact with all sorts of things, picking up a lot of bacteria along the way. But just how often do we wash our hands? Well, I'm going to find out using a special scientific tool called asking people. When was the last time you washed your hands?
Just before I left the house, which was probably about 20 minutes ago, maybe.
Oh, really? Okay.
A couple of hours ago? Yeah.
At school.
When was the last time your dad washed his hands, do you think?
I think it was never.
You think he's never washed them?
Morning.
In the morning? What time is it now?
It's about...
It's late afternoon. So, maybe we don't wash our hands quite as often as we think we do. But why does it matter how clean our mitts are? Well, there are harmless bacteria on your hands, but your hands also play a crucial role in spreading illness. In fact, 4 out of every 5 illnesses are spread using your hands. Although you don't need to wash them all the time, washing your hands before you eat and after you go to the loo is very important, and I'm going to show you why. So, I'm gathering as many handprints as possible on a special jelly which will help to show what bacteria are on people's hands.
That's brilliant.
Next, I want to take a second handprint after their hands have been washed in water to see if there's a change in the amount of bacteria. Finally, I want to see the different soap makes. So I'm getting my volunteers to wash their hands with soap and water.
Okay, so you do the backs of your hands. Oh, you get your in between your fingers. This is an absolute masterclass in hand washing.
What about a nice clean high five? Now our samples head off to the lab where they are put in an incubator set at exactly 37 degrees, which is the same temperature as your body. They will happily grow in this perfect bacteria breeding environment for 48 hours. Keeping an eye on our batch is virologist Rhiannon Lowe. So Rhiannon, what have we got here?
Okay, these are the plates that haven't been washed. So we've got normal skin flora that we've been growing up. So we've got lots of Staphylococcus species, we've got Streptococcus species.
And that's kind of exactly what you would expect from a regular hand.
This is normal hand flora. You can see the 4 fingers and you can see the thumb.
Check out these furry fellas.
Like to smell?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is a strong smell.
So these are bacteria that you might find on your hands after not washing your hands after going to the toilet.
Okay.
So they will be fecal bacteria.
Yep, that means poo, and these bacteria can cause food poisoning. So can we have a look at the next lot then?
Yeah. A lot of people don't wash their thumb very well at all, so your thumb tends to have a lot more bacteria on them.
What, people just stick their
Yeah, just wash it like that, and literally the thumbs are sticking out like that.
So there's still definite handprints here. It's clear that water alone doesn't do much. What about number 3 then?
Number 3, let's take a look.
Squeaky clean. Well, almost.
It's just a few sporadic colonies.
It just goes to show that using soap when you wash your hands is so much better. There are bacteria on your skin that are actually doing you good. So there's no need to keep your hands squeaky clean all the time. But washing your hands with soap and water, especially before you eat, is a great way of protecting you from getting sick. And remember, when you wash your hands, do it thoroughly. A good 20 seconds of washing with soap and warm water will keep your mitts clean, and don't forget your thumbs.